Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Ram.
Hare Krishna, Prabhujis and Matajis, Dandavat Pranams, all glory to Srila Prabhupada, Srila Gurudev. Welcome all the devotees for participating to the Mangalarti WebEx session. Today, the class will be given by His Grace, Divine, actually, His Grace, Swayam Sphuraty Prabhuji, and he'll be taking on the Damodar Leela. So surely now we'll just allow Swayam Sphuraty Prabhuji to unmute himself and come online. Very well. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamhayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yutpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिंधुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे। Hare Krishna, everybody. Welcome to this morning's Srimad Bhagavatam session. Today is a very special day. Some parts of the world, today is Narga Chaturdashi. It's a Choti Diwali, and some parts of the world, it has been celebrated as a big Diwali day. And as we were discussing last time, that on Narga Chaturdashi, the Choti Diwali day, or the day before Diwali, Lord Krishna killed Narkasura. He released 16,000 women from the clutches of an Asura. And thereafter, on the next day, Diwali day, Krishna performed a very wonderful pastime, which is called Damodar Leela, wherein he allowed Yashoda Mata to bind him due to Yashoda Mata's intense love for him. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 4 cantos which are full of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. But out of all those pastimes, Damodar Leela pastime is a pastime which is the most celebrated pastimes in this universe. These pastimes have been described by Srila Shukdev Goswami in the Srimad Bhagavatam, then Satyavrata Muni has also described it in the Damodarashtakam. Then Sanatana Goswami has talked about it in Hari Bhakti Vilas. Jeev Goswami has mentioned about it, not mentioned, he has given details of it in Gopal Champu. And Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also has given the commentary in Sarar Darshani. So there are a number of Mahabhagavatas who have been glorifying these pastimes for so many thousands of years. And in the recent time, about 200 years back, there was another Mahabhagavata who is known as Hari Suriji. He was a great poet, and he appeared around 1810 in a village in Nasik. He was a great devotee of Lord Krishna, and at the age of 30, he took a vow that every day morning he will do his Gayatri, and after Gayatri he will chant Vishnu Sahasranam. After chanting Vishnu Sahasranam, he will recite 12 chapters of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thereafter he will serve the cows for 1.5 hours. And thereafter he would eat the first morsel in the day. And he continued to follow this vow for 12 years. And after 12 years, once he was doing the Gau Seva, he felt that somebody has touched his back. He felt a tap on the back. And he, just by the touch, he could feel that it is none other than Krishna himself. And he turned back and he had the darshan of Krishna. And Krishna addressed him, Arbhaga. Arbhaga means my dear son. So Krishna said, my dear son, I am very much happy with your commitment to keep your vows. And you will be my eternal associate in my dham. But before you come to my dham, you have to do one seva for me. And Hari Baba Shastri, Hari Suriji, he was known as Hari Baba Shastri. So that time Hari Baba said, okay, my lord, what can I do for you? So he said, you have to describe my pastimes, which I enacted in the Dwapar Yuga. So Hari Baba said that, my lord, but this has already been given in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and other senior devotees, Mahabhagavatas, have already commented upon it. So Krishna said, no, you have to describe it, because nobody has given the reason why did I perform certain activities. And Krishna says, even in this material world, even a small jiva will perform an activity with some motive, with some vicha, with some desire in the heart. So how can I perform so many wonderful activities without any reason behind them? Hari Babaji said, how would I know the reasons? You are full of mysteries. So Krishna says, you don't worry. I will manifest the reasons of my all activities unto your heart once you start writing it. And Krishna told him, okay, now stop following these vows. You just dedicate yourself to this seva. And then Hari Baba Shastri started writing the commentary on Shri Krishna's various pastimes. And he has written the commentary in a very poetic form in a scripture called Bhakti Rasayanam, Madhurya Kavya. And before he disappeared from the world, he could finish up to the 49th chapter of 10th canto, where Akrura leaves for Hastinapur. And thereafter he couldn't complete. He has given his commentary only on the 10th canto up to 47 or 49 chapter. And in those 47 chapters, there are about 2,500 verses. But he has given the commentary in almost twice of those verses. 5,000 verses are there, where he has described the reasons for Krishna's various pastimes. And after Hari Baba Shastri, he was known later on as Hari Suri, because Krishna gave him the designation Suri. Suri means very intelligent. So after he had the darshan of Krishna, he was known as Hari Suri. And in the very recent time, in the ISKCON, we have a very great devotee, sannyasi, His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj. So when I heard him almost 22, 23 years back, even that time, I heard from him, and he used to quote a lot. Even now, when he talks about Srimad Bhagavatam, he mentions a lot about Hari Suriji. And so today we are going to discuss some of the mysteries behind Lord Krishna's Damodar pastimes, which have been given in chapter 9 of 10th canto. And we will see how many verses we can complete. There are about 18 or 19 verses wherein the Krishna's Damodar Leela has been described. But the meaning behind those activities are so deep that even now the acharyas have been trying to understand what was the reason of Krishna's performing those activities. So we are going to recite verse number 1 and 2 from chapter number 9 and canto 10. So please allow me for a minute to share the screen. Hare Krishna. Girvardhari Prabhu, can you see the screen, please?
Yes, Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Krishna Kinkar, for guiding me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakte Bhavati Naishtiki. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 9, Verse 1 and 2. Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Grahadasishu Yashodananda Gihini Karmantara Niyuktasu Nirmamanta Svayam Tadhi Yani Yani Gitani Tat Bala Charitani Cha Dadi Nirmanthane Kale Smaranti Tanya Gayata. Shri Shuka Vacha, Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Ekada, one day, Grahadasishu, when all the maid servants of the household were otherwise engaged. Yashoda, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Gehini, the queen of Nanda Maharaj, Karma Antara, in other household affairs, Niyuktasu, being engaged, Nirmamantha, churned, Swayam, personally, Dadi, the yogurt, Yani, all such, Yani is such, Iha, in this connection, Gitani, songs, Tad Bala Charitani, in which the activities of her own child were enacted. Cha and Dadi Nirmanthane, while churning the yogurt. Kale, at that time. Smaranti, remembering. Tani, all of them, in the form of songs. Agayata, chanted. Translation. Shri Sukdev Goswami continued, one day when Mother Yashoda saw that all the maid servants were engaged in other household affairs, she personally began to churn the yogurt. While churning, she remembered the childish activities of Krishna, and in her own way, she composed songs and enjoyed singing to herself about all those activities. Purport. Can I request any devotee to read the purport loudly, please? Hare Krishna. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, quoting from the Vaishnava Toshni of Srila Sanatana Goswami, says that the incident of Krishna's breaking the pot of yogurt and being bound by Mother Yashoda took place on the Deepavali day or Deep Malika. Even today in India, this festival is generally celebrated very gorgeously in the month of Kartika by fireworks and lights, especially in Bombay. It is to be understood that among all the cows of Nand Maharaj, several of Mother Yashoda's cows ate only grasses so flavorful that the grasses would automatically flavor the milk. Mother Yashoda wanted to collect the milk from these cows, make it into yogurt, and churn it into butter personally, since she thought that this child Krishna was going to the houses of neighborhood gopas and gopis to steal butter because he did not like the milk and yogurt ordinarily prepared. While churning the butter, Mother Yashoda was singing about the childhood activities of Krishna. It was formerly a custom that if one wanted to remember something constantly, he would transform it into poetry or have this done by a professional poet. It appears that Mother Yashoda did not want to forget Krishna's activities at any time. Therefore, she poetized all of Krishna's childhood activities, such as the killing of Putna, Aghasura, Shaktasura, and Pranavrata. And while churning the butter, she sang about these activities in poetical form. This should be the practice of persons eager to remain Krishna conscious 24 hours a day. This incident shows how Krishna conscious Mother Yashoda was. To stay in Krishna conscious, we should follow such persons. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, here in this couple of verses, Shukadeva Goswami gives an introduction of the Damodar Leela, and Shukadeva Goswami starts with the word Ekada. In the material world, we see when someone starts telling the storytelling always starts with one phrase or once upon a time. And from where the phrase is coming in, it's coming from the Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadeva Goswami says, Ekada, that once upon a time, Graha Dasishu, that Graha means a house and Dasishu means maid servants. That all the maid servants were busy in karma antara. They were busy in other household activities. And when Mother Yashoda saw that all the maid servants were busy in other household activities, then she began churning yogurt into butter. Nir mamantha, Svayam dadi. Now, we know that Nand Baba had more than 900,000 cows. So the person who has got more than 900,000 cows must have hundreds and thousands of servants. So one may wonder where all these maid servants and other servants are busy. So we know that Damodar Leela pastime took place on Deepavali day, and the day next of Deepavali is the Govardhan Puja day. And as we know from Srimad Bhagavatam, that Brajvasis used to celebrate Indra Puja before the Govardhan Puja started, Indra Puja, and after that Govardhan Puja in a very, very grand manner. So they were all busy in the preparing for the celebrations for Govardhan Puja. And that time Yashoda Mata, she began churning the yogurt herself. Now, why she started churning the yogurt herself? Why did not she wait for some more time? Because it's not that there was a shortage of yogurt and butter in her house. The house was full of butter all the time. But the acharyas have given few reasons why she started churning the yogurt herself, despite having a lot of butter in her house. So here the word is Svayam Nir Svayam Dadi Nirmantane. That first reason, that she wanted to serve Krishna herself. Although she was Nanda Gehini. Nanda Gehini means she was the queen of Nanda Maharaj, or she was the queen of Vraja. But with this thing, Shukdev Goswami want to tell us that one may be, no matter, a person may be a very big person, very rich, very opulent, but when it comes to serving Krishna, one should not leave the service upon the servants. The person should find the time himself or herself to serve Krishna. So Yashoda Mata said, I want to serve Krishna myself. So this is the first reason. And the second reason, Yashoda Mata got sick of hearing complaints from the neighbors that your son is stealing butter every now and then. So Yashoda Mata thought that probably Krishna doesn't like the butter which has been prepared by the maid servants. And from this we understand that there is a difference between the food which is cooked by mother, sister, wife, and the food which is cooked by the servant, or the food which we get outside in the restaurants. And the biggest difference is the amount of love. The food, what is prepared by a servant or by outsiders, they do it for the sake of getting the money. The element of love is missing. But whereas, if a mother is cooking the food, if a wife is cooking the food, sister is cooking the food, devotees are cooking the food, then all the ingredients are same. But there is a one big thing which is added to those ingredients, is the love, which affects our consciousness. So Yashoda Mata thought that probably the maid servants do not have that much love, and that's why Krishna doesn't like the butter which has been prepared in the house by the maid servant. And she got even more warned or more worried when she heard that Krishna ate the mud. Earlier, when the Krishna's friends would complain, that time Balarama would support Krishna. But this time, even Balarama was complaining to Yashoda Mata that Mata, Krishna has eaten the mud. So Mother Yashoda thought that he is eating the mud. That means he is starving, he is not liking even the outside butter. And then she said that it's a shame what people will say, that we have got 900,000 cows and still we cannot produce butter which is liked by Krishna. And the fifth reason, Mother Yashoda was worried that if he cultivates this habit of stealing, then in the future he may become a big thief, and that will be a black spot on our Nandakula. So these are the few reasons Acharya has said that Yashoda Mata decided to churn the butter herself, although she was Nanda Gehini. She was the queen of Raja, where in her house there were more than 900,000 cows and thousands of servants were there. Now Shukdev Goswami describes that Yani Yani hi Gitani tad bal charitani che dadir nirmanthane kale. That while she was churning butter, what was the condition of her mind? While she was churning the butter, her mind was engaged in remembering the Krishna's pastimes. And Smaranti Tanya Gayata, and her Vani, her speech was engaged in singing the glories of Krishna. So when Yashoda Mata was churning the yogurt, that time she was singing the pastimes of Krishna which have been enacted by him before these pastimes. And the song which was sung by Yashoda Mata has been given in Gopal Champu by Srila Jeev Goswami. It's a very beautiful song. I am going to show you that song, and we will discuss briefly about that song. Please allow me for a few seconds to change the screen. Krishna Kinkar, beta, you can see it? Girvardhari Prabhu?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Sorry, the screen is not shared yet, Prabhu.
Okay.
You have to press share and then screen one. Yes, now we can see.
So this is the song which was sung by Mother Yashoda while she was churning yogurt for Krishna. And this has been given in Gopal Champu, written by Srila Jeev Goswami. And this is a long song. This has got another 6 or 7 lines, but I have taken only few lines here. And the song goes like this. Gokula Patikula Tilakatvam Asiha Gokula Patikula Tilakatvam Asiha Krita Sukrata Vraja Rachita Sukha Vraja Nayanananda Samiha Anandodabhava Janama Mahotsav Nandita Gopa Samaja Utani Kamriti Nava Mangala Kriti Valayita Gokula Raja Tribhuvana Darashana Vismaya Marashana Nishchita Vaishnava Maya Harivarivasya Sukha Tatamahasya Vigata Jara Marakaya Gokula Patikula Tilakatvam Asiha. So, in this song, Yashoda Mata is saying that Gokula Pati Kula. Gokula Pati means Anand Maharaj, her husband. Kula means lineage. And Tilaka means it's a Tilaka. And Tvama means you, Asiha means becoming. So Yashoda Mata is glorifying Krishna by saying that you have appeared in the Vansha of Nand Maharaj as a tilaka on the forehead. And this means that the lineage of Nand Maharaj has become more beautiful by your appearance. And we have the experience that if anybody is putting the tilaka on the forehead, the tilaka on the forehead adds the beauty of the person. So here Yashoda Mata is telling that by your appearance in the Gokula, it has become even more beautiful. Krita Sukrata Vraja Rachita Sukha Vraja Nayanananda Samiha. So Krita Sukrata. Krita Sukrat. Sukrata means it's not a pious activity. In the last week we mentioned that there's a difference between Sukrata and pious activities. Sukrata means the devotional activities performed for the pleasure of Krishna, either knowingly or unknowingly, either in this birth or the previous birth. So Yashoda Mata is telling that the Vrajvasis or the Vraja must have performed a lot of Sukratis, due to which you have appeared to give the Sukha to the Vraja. And Nayana Nanda Samiha, that just by gazing you, just by looking at you, our eyes get immense happiness. Anand Anandodbhava Janama Mahotsav Nandita Gopa Samaja. Ananda Udbhava Janama Mahotsava. So she is saying when you were born, that time Ananda means happiness and Udbhava means manifested. That as soon as you were born, the Ananda was manifested and we celebrated your birth by having a big festival, Maha Utsava. And Nandita Gopa Samaja. And festival was so great that all the Gop Samaja, all the cowards communities were very much happier. Putanika Mriti Nava Mangala Kriti Valayita Gokula Raja. But our happiness did not last for a very long time because Putnika appeared there. Putnika came to kill you. But you not only killed Putana, but by killing Putana, you brought auspiciousness, Mangala Kriti. You brought the auspiciousness for the whole Braja, particularly to Gokula Raja. Gokula Raja means Nanda Maharaja. And Tribhuvana Darshana Vismaya Marashana Nishchita Vaishnava Maya. Tribhuvana Darshan. So just before the Damodar Leela, Krishna manifested the pastime where he ate the mud. And that time Mother Yashoda said, Mother Yashoda asked Krishna, did you eat mud? Krishna said, no, I did not eat the mud. These friends are telling the lies. Shri Yashoda Mata said, okay, open your mouth. And Krishna opened the mouth and Yashoda Mata was about to faint her because she could see Tribhuvan. She saw the whole Tribhuvan means all the three planet systems were in Krishna's mouth. So Tribhuvana Darshan, that a few days ago, I saw the three words into your mouth and Vismaya Marshana. And I was very much surprised to see the three words into your mouth. But Nishchita Vaishnava Maya. But definitely, this is the act of Maya that I got bewildered in. And the last line is very important. Hari vari vasya sukha datamahasya vigata jaramar kaya. So in this line, Yashoda Mata is praying to Krishna for Krishna. She is praying to the Lord, Hari Vari Vasya, that, O my Lord, may my son become a great devotee of Hari. Sukha da tamasya. And my Lord, may my son always be happy. And the third, Vigata Jaramara Kaya. Vigata means free from. Jara Mara. Jara means old age, and Amara Mara means Mrityu, and Kaya means body. And she is praying to the Lord that, my Lord, let my son be free. Let my son be always free. Or the proper translation, let my son's body be always free from the effect of old age and death. So with this, we see that how innocent is the mood of Yashoda Mata when she is performing the devotion service. And before I move on, I want any one or two devotees, if they would like to recite this song. Is Vajanti Mataji there online? Or Girdhari Prabhu? Or Abir Kanya Mataji? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Beta, you can hear me?
Yes, Prabhu, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, so I'm requesting the devotees, if any devotee can sing this song.
Actually, yeah. Uh, Prabhuji, I think it would be better if you sang, Prabhu.
Gokulapati Kula Tilakatma Asiha Krita Sukrata Vraja Rachita Sukha Vraja Nayanananda Samiha Ananda Bhava Janama Mohotsava Nandita Gopa Samaja Bhutanikamriti Navamangalkriti Valayita Gokula Raja Tribhuvana Darashana Vismaya Marashana Nishchita Vaishnava Maya Hari Hari Vasya Sukha Tatamasya Vigata Jaramara Kaya. So the last line is very beautiful. She is praying to Krishna that my son, who is a Krishna himself, can become a great Vaishnava. Or she is praying to Krishna that let my son become a devotee of ISKCON. And Yashoda Mata is praying to the Lord that let my son become a devotee of Krishna, because she was worried that it's early morning. I have already started churning the butter. Everybody is busy in the house, but still Krishna is sleeping in. And unless he starts waking up early, he cannot become a devotee, because devotee means doing the Mangala Arati. So that's the mood of Yashoda Mata. And while Yashoda Mata is performing this devotion service, Yashoda Mata is showing by her own example that how we should engage ourselves in performing the devotion service. While she was performing this devotion service or churning the yogurt into butter, from this couple of verses we understand that her body was engaged in churning the yogurt, her speech, her Vani was engaged in singing the glories, and her mind was engaged in remembering Krishna's pastimes, which he had already enacted in. And when we read the Srimad Bhagavatam, throughout the Srimad Bhagavatam, we find so many verses where the devotees are praying to the Lord that the three things means our body and the words and the minds should remain engaged in Krishna service. When Vritasura prays to the Lord He says, Hare tav padik mula dasanu daso bhavitasmi bhuya. Manas maretasu pate gunamshe granit vak karma karotu kaya. So he's praying to the Lord that, my Lord, when will I become a devotee of your devotees? So that manas maretasu pate gunashes, so that my mind can remember your transcendental qualities. Granit vaka, so that my speech can glorify your qualities. And karotu kaya, so that my body can be engaged in serving you. Similarly, when Lord Brahma is praying to the Krishna, like Jnane Prayasa Mudpas and Namanta Eva. So he says, Shruti Gatam Tanu Vag Manobhir. Shruti Gatam Tanu Vag Manobhir. Shruti means Shruti Gatam Tanu Vag. Shruti means hearing, the past times. Tanu Vag Manobhir. Tanu means body, Vag means speech, and Mana means mind. So there also Brahmaji is praying to the Lord, or he's telling us that if we can engage the three things, our body, mind, and words in Krishna, then we can conquer somebody who cannot be conquered by any means. There is another episode in the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto when Uddhav Maharaj is about to leave Vrindavan. That time Nand Baba and cowherd boys pray to the Lord that let our mind take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, let our words always chant his names, and let our body always go down before Krishna. And when we sing the famous verse, Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva. So again the three things, Kayena Vacha Manasendriyarva. So Kaya, Vacha, and Mana. Right? Whatever we do from our body, mind, and words, we should offer it to Krishna. So throughout the Bhagavatam and different places, repeatedly it has been said that our mind, body, and words should be engaged in Krishna's service. Why? Because Srila Prabhupada explains several places that it's through our body, it's through our mind, it's through our words. There are three things. Our body means all the senses. Mind means mind, and speech means what we can do from the mouth. These three things are the mediums through which we commit the sinful activities. So if somehow yenikena prakarena we can engage our mind, body, and words in serving Krishna, then we would be committing less and less sinful activities. And in the purport, it has been given very beautifully that this should be the practice of persons eager to remain Krishna conscious 24 hours a day. So this should be the practice. Practice means what? Practice means we should practice remembering Krishna and singing his glories when we are doing our day-to-day activities. And it says the person should be the practice of persons eager to remain Krishna conscious. So this practice should be done by what kind of people? The persons who are eager to remain Krishna conscious. Eager means who strongly want to do or strongly want to have something. So it's not for everybody. The persons who are eager to remain Krishna conscious, not 1 hour, 2 hours, 24 hours a day. Then they should practice performing their daily duties the way Yashoda Mata is doing it. And it says that this incident shows how Krishna conscious Mother Yashoda was. To stay in Krishna conscious, we should follow such persons are. So the thing is that the way Yashoda Mata is performing the devotion service, if we do not practice to perform the devotion service, or it's not about the devotion service only, it's about our day-to-day activities. Because when Yashoda Mata was churning the yogurt, she did not know that Krishna is her son. For her, Krishna was just an ordinary child. Churning the yogurt was just another household activity for Yashoda Mata. But how she was doing it? She was doing it by remembering Krishna's glories and chanting Krishna's glories. And if we don't practice to perform our activities in this manner, then we are at the risk that we will not be able to remember Krishna when we leave our body. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Anta kalecha mame vismana muktva kalivra. Krishna says, Anta kalecha mame. At the time of death, when a person is taking his last breath, that time he leaves his body while remembering me. Then he will go to Mad Bhavam. He will achieve Maya Dham. And Arjuna says, how about if a person cannot remember you? Then Krishna says, Yam Yam Vapi Smaran Bhavam. That whatever a person is thinking, whatever bhava a person is carrying while leaving the body, he will achieve that bhava, means he will go to that yoni. So Arjuna says that this is very dangerous, right? I want to come and serve you. I want to come to Yuruluka. So tell me, what should I do? So then Krishna says that Tasma Sarveshu Kaleshu Mam Smara Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. So Tasmad means therefore, Sarveshu Kaleshu. That all the times, Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. That while remembering me, you should fight. And fighting is an activity. So Krishna is giving, taking the example of fighting. He's telling us that whatever activities we perform, we should perform those activities while remembering Krishna. And this is something which need to be practiced by everybody. Because we do not know when we have to take the last breath. So if that time we cannot remember Krishna, then whatever thoughts we have, according to those thoughts, we will get another body. We will miss the chance to get the liberation. In Bhagavad Gita, when we hear the verse, Ananyas Chintyantu Mam Ye Jana Paripaste, and Krishna says, Yog Shemam Vahamyam. That Yog Shema means, I will protect what you have and I will carry what you don't have. Yog Shemam Vahamyam. Yog Shemam Vahamyam. We should not think that it's only about protecting our wealth and our possessions. More than the wealth and possessions, it's about protecting our consciousness. So when we pray to the Krishna, we should pray to Krishna that he should be protecting our consciousness from getting dragged into this material contamination. And it's not that it will happen immediately. This requires the time. It can be done in a 1 second. It can be done momently, or it may take even millions of births. So anyway, from this we understand that when we have to perform our day-to-day activities, then how we should perform our activities. And the next verse describes the effect of performing our activities in such manner. So please allow me for a few seconds to switch the screen. So now in this verse, there are few things which have been described by Srila Shukdev Goswami. So Shomam Vasaha. So in the first couple of lines, Shukdev Goswami is describing how Mother Yashoda had dressed herself or decorated herself while she was before she started churning the butter. So Shomam Vasa. Shoma means it's a color mixed color saffron and yellow. And this is a silken cloth. So it means that Mother Yashoda was wearing a silk sari, a yellow silk sari, and Prithu Kati Tate, and she was wearing a belt around the waist. And she was wearing the bangles, she was wearing the beautiful earrings, and she was wearing even the beautiful Malti flowers also. So with this, one may wonder that this was a very routine activity, very early morning. Why Yashoda Mata was wearing a silken sari and had decorated herself to the extent that she had put even the Malti flowers on the hairs. So Shukdev Goswami wants to tell us that when we have to perform any service for Krishna, when we have to present ourselves before Krishna, we have to present ourselves before Krishna in a decent manner. Not necessarily to be opulent, but as far as our means allows, we should present ourselves in front of Krishna. Or when we engage ourselves in serving Krishna, we have to dress up ourselves in a proper manner. And then Shukdev Goswami tells us that what was the effect of Yashoda Mata's association on other things around her, or the effect of associating with a devotee whose body, minds and words are engaged in serving Krishna. So in the previous two verses, we discussed that how Yashoda Mata's mind, body and words were engaged in serving Krishna. So see the effect of associating with such devotee. So now, who was around Yashoda Mata when she was churning the butter? So our acharyas have said that while she was churning the butter, there was a churning rod, there was bangles, there was earrings, there was a perspiration, there was a Malti flowers in. These are the few things which were immediately around Yashoda Mata. And one thing we have to remember that in the spiritual world, everything is Satchidananda. Everything is full of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. So even the churning rod can speak, can sing. So when Yashoda Mata was singing, right, that time the churning rod assumed the role of a mridanga. And it was making a sound, dham, 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 as if when we sing, another person is playing the mridanga. Then the Bengals, they assumed the role of somebody who follows the kirtan. Like in the kirtan, we see one person is singing and some other devotees are following. That's the role the Bengals assumed in. Earrings assumed the role of the devotees who dance during the kirtan. And then it says the Malti flowers were falling from the hairs of Yashoda Mata. Now, why the Malti flowers started falling from the hairs of Yashoda Mata? Our acharyas have said a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is that the flowers felt ashamed that we do not deserve to be on the hairs or on the head of such a great devotee who has engaged her mind, body, words in serving the Lord. So they started falling from Mother Yashoda's hairs. And another reason, flowers thought that due to our weight, the flowers also have got some weight, right? Although the weight is not significant, but still the flowers thought that probably, our weight is too much, and that's why the Mother Yashoda has to labor very hard. So they wanted to give some comfort to Yashoda Mata, and then they started falling from the hair of Yashoda Mata. And then here, Shukdev Goswami said, Svinnam Vaktram. Svinnam Vaktram, Svinna means sweating. Vaktram means the face. So all over the face of Yashoda Mata, there was a sweat. Yashoda Mata was perspiring very heavily. And Acharyas have said that with this we have to understand that how much Yashoda Mata was absorbed in churning the yogurt. This was the height of absorption, because during this time is the winter time. When Krishna manifested this past time in Vraja, this is the winter time. It's a cold period. And sweating, and that's also early morning. Yashoda Mata was churning the yogurt early morning. So it's early morning, winter time, and there was a perspiration all over the face. So that means she was deeply absorbed in churning the butter for Krishna. So these are the few things we understand from these verses. Now in the next verse, we will have just a brief discussion on this verse. Tamastanya tamasadhya mathanantim jananim hari grahitva dadi manthanam nyashedhat priti mavahan. So tam stanya kama asadhya. So as Yashoda Mata was churning the butter, and there was a sound of the churning rod, the sound of the bangles, sound of the earrings. With this sound, Krishna got up from his sleep. And Tam means unto Mother Yashoda. Stanya Kama Asadhya. Asadhya means immediately he ran to Mother Yashoda, and Stanya Kama. And he had a Kama. Kama for what? To drink the milk from Mother Yashoda. So when we read the word Kama in this verse, we think that this is contradictory with the quality of Krishna. One of the quality of Krishna is he is a Atmarama. He is a self-satisfied. He is free from the lust, anger, greed. These are the few transcendental qualities we hear about Krishna. But one thing we have to remember, that Krishna manifests all these transcendental qualities outside of Vrindavana. But when he is in Vrindavan with his intimate associates, then these qualities are covered. Krishna doesn't manifest these qualities. And that's why Tam Stanya Kama. That Krishna, Kama means a very strong desire. That he had a very strong desire to drink the milk. And Matanantim, that she was churning the yogurt. But while she was churning the yogurt, Grahitva Dadi Manthanam. Grahitva means Krishna caught it. And Dadi Manthanam, it's a churning rod. And Neshadat means he forbade Yashoda Mata. So Grahitva Dadi Manthanam. Grahitva means a caught, and Dadi Mantha means a churning rod. So Mother Yashoda was churning the yogurt with a very deep absorption, we discussed just now. And if anybody has seen how the yogurt is churned, so we know by the experience that the churning rod moves very faster. And still, Krishna had an audacity, although he was a very small boy, to catch the churning rod. It could have hurt Krishna. It could have hurt Krishna. But still, Krishna caught the rod so firmly that he forbade Yashoda Mata to churn the yogurt further. So on this point, Harish Suriji, he says that why did Krishna catch the churning rod so firmly and he stopped Yashoda Mata churning the yogurt? So Harish Suriji says Krishna wanted to say that once you have attained love for me, then you do not have to worry about performing your Varnashrama dharma. I may come and stop you performing your household duties or following your Varnashrama dharma. And that time, you should not have any fear. But the devotee may ask Krishna that if we do not perform our Varnashrama dharma, then we will get the sin. Because you yourself have said in Bhagavad Gita that one should perform his own occupational duties, Varnashrama dharma. So if we don't perform our Varnashrama dharma, we will get the sins, and due to those sins, we will have to see a Dandadhara. And who is the Dandadhara? Dandadhara is Yamraj. Yamraj is holding the Danda to punish the sinful people. So here by holding the churning rod, Krishna is telling us that once a person has attained a pure love for me, even if he has to or he is not able to perform his Varnashrama dharma properly, he should not be worried about the punishment from the Yamraj, who is the Dandadhara, because that Danda, that punishment stick, is not with Yamraj. Rather, I am holding the stick in my hand. So you should not be worried about it. So this is another reason, this is one of the reasons why Krishna caught the churning rod very firmly and stopped Mother Yashoda from churning the yogurt. And after that, there are more verses, but we do not have that time to discuss those verses. Krishna willing, we will cover the reasons of performing those activities which have been given in those verses in another class. And now I would like to give a viram to this katha. And now I request the devotees have got any questions or comments, they may please speak, and otherwise some devotees can share their realizations or takeaway.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Prabhu.
First of all, Prabhu, I like to thank you so much for And most importantly, you speak so slowly and step by step. It is very, very nice. And one point I personally like very much, Prabhu, that what you shared, we never got access to. We used to hear in all time that Jasoda Mothers used to sing the glories of Krishna, but we never that today you brought up from Jiv Goswami's Gopal Champu. It was so nice, Prabhu, and its wordings are so nice, and especially the last line when Katha is praying for that Krishna be a good devotee. And another lesson, what you said, that we should always in devotional service should be associated with the glorification of the Lord. What normally we forget, we take as a normal activity and we speak other thing. But that is very nice. And here speaking is easy, but let us try to implement that. Thank you so much for bringing up so nice points, Prabhu. And happy
Thank
Diwali to you and everybody, all the devotees. Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhu, the last line, I want to emphasize on the last line of the song of Yashoda, Mother Yashoda. So, she's saying, Hari Vari Vasya, Sukhada Tamaha. So, and then, Sya Vigata Jara Marakaya. That if we have to pray for our children to the Lord, then we should pray three things for our children. That one, they should become the devotee of the Lord. Second, while they are performing the devotion service, or otherwise they should always be happy. And third, their body should remain free from the effect of the old age and the death. Yeah. Hare Krishna.
Okay, very good point, Prabhu. Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. Very beautiful class. Prabhuji, I have like a question. Sometimes we do our daily activities in our household every day. We tend to take the name of Krishna quite often. I mean, we chant or like not like our normal chanting, but in kitchen when we do, we just chant the name of Krishna. But when we are chanting, sometimes the thought of Krishna doesn't come, but our mouth works continuously like taking his holy name. Is that correct, or we should always have the thought also along with that?
So, Mataji, ideally our mind should be remembering Krishna, right? Mind should always be, should also be engaged in serving Krishna. But one thing we have to remember, that our mind is higher than the senses. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that we have our gross working senses, and higher than the senses the mind. Above mind is intelligence, then the soul, then super soul, and the Krishna, right? So before we can control the mind, we have to control our senses, right? So if your body is engaged in serving Krishna, and your tongue is also engaged in serving Krishna, then slowly the stage will come when your mind will also keep remembering Krishna. That's one thing. And second, we are not able to remember Krishna while we are doing our activities because we do not have the pure love for Krishna. We do love Krishna, but we do not love Krishna as much as we love our material paraphernalia. And you would have heard that Srila Prabhupada has given the example many times that India, when we go to the construction site, there we see laborer women, even the women, they work on the site. So they come in the morning and they carry a small baby in their arms, right? And once they reach the site, they would leave the baby on the floor and they would go and work on the site. So on the site, they are doing up and down in the building, right?
Yeah.
Doing their activities, but all the time their mind is on the Krishna. Their mind is on the child. That is my child, all right or no? Is my child all right or no? Right? So why does it happen? Because the mother has got very strong love and affection for the child. So our mind will always be there where we have the attachment, where we have our love. That's why Krishna says that we have to practice it. Srila Prabhupada says we have to practice it to engage our mind in remembering Krishna. But the beginning is our body, and then the speech, and then automatically it will come to the mind. And one thing we have to remember, then when Krishna says Yog Shemam Vahamyam, and when Krishna says Ma Shucha, Krishna says, don't worry, don't fear, surrender unto me. So this is one of the fear you have got, right? Is it all right or not? So Krishna says, don't worry, keep doing it. And when the time comes, Krishna will protect our consciousness. Or Krishna will keep protecting our consciousness.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Happy Diwali to all of you.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So wonderful class. Happy Diwali to everybody. One point to mention is that when we have to perform our day-to-day activities, how to perform by remembering Krishna and his pastime, that is engaging our mind, body, and words in Krishna. This is what means. We should. Okay, this can be achieved by practicing, and this is a good thought which I felt to be take home. Hare Krishna. Probably one more thing. Starting, you said a person may be very big or opulent, but when he comes to serving for Krishna, he must. There, you said some words, Prabhuji. I could not take the note of that.
No. I wanted to say, as Shukdev Goswami has said in the verse, that Nanda Gehini, that although she was the queen of Nanda Maharaj, right? The house had thousands of servants, but still, Shukdev Goswami says, Swayam Dadi. Swayam means herself. She herself wanted to churn the yogurt. So the point is that we may be very opulent, we may be able to afford hundreds of servants, but when it comes to the serving Krishna, we have to see that we don't leave everything on the servants. We should also engage ourselves in serving Krishna. Like we know before Rath Yatra, even King Pratap Rudra, he was on the road and he was cleaning the road when Rath Yatra festival was held. Otherwise, he could have engaged his servants to clean the road when the Ratha was being moved. That's the point I want to do.
Okay, Prabhu. Thank you.
हरे कृष्ण बाबू जी, धन्यवाद, प्रणाम।
हरे कृष्णा।
प्रभु जी, मेरा एक छोटा सा ये है, जो वो यशोदा मैया शुद्ध भक्त था, तो उनका जो भी चार्निंग वो सब जो आवाज आता था, वो कीर्तन का मतलब मृदंग करताल उसके साथ मतलब कंपेयर किया। लेकिन प्रभु हमारे लेवल में, जैसे हम लोग किचन में भोग बनाने के लिए सेवा करते हैं, तो आवाज आता है तो हम लोग डर जाते हैं, तो प्रभु वो उसको हम लोग कैसे, मतलब जैसे मेरा लेवल में मैं बात कर रही हूँ, तो उसको हम लोग कैसे थोड़ा सा इम्प्रूव, जैसे ट्रांसजेंडर में हो सकता है, ऐसे कैसे हम लोग इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं? जैसे बर्तन गिर गया तो हम लोग डर जाता है, बहुत आवाज आना, थोड़ा सा आवाज कम करना, ऐसे कैसे, मतलब हमारा लेवल में कैसे वो हो सकता है? थोड़ा सा लाइट डाल दीजिए। हरे कृष्ण।
So, Mataji, I think you want to say that we get distracted by the sound when we do our household activities, right, Mataji?
हाँ जी, हम लोग जैसे कुछ भी, मतलब किचन में कुछ भी सेवा करने के टाइम हमारा कुछ आवाज आता है, तो हमारा थोड़ा सा ये होता है, इतना जोर से आवाज नहीं आना चाहिए, तो वो आवाज को हम लोग कैसे, मतलब इसको कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं, जो वही माइंड में थोड़ा सा ऐसा।
So, Mataji, see, when we many times we have the experience that when we give the Bhagavatam class, when the Bhagavatam class is going on, particularly in India, you have seen the big pandals for the Bhagavatam classes, right? So, in the Bhagavatam classes going on here, and it's a very big pandal, it's in an open ground, and outside the ground there is a road, and a lot of vehicles are going on, right? And a lot of sound comes from those vehicles. But do we get distracted by those sounds? We don't get distracted by those sounds, right? But imagine in that gathering, a person's mobile start ringing. So everybody would start looking at that person, that why your mobile is ringing. So from outside the pandal, the sound is much more than the sound of the mobile. But we don't get distracted by the bigger sound, we get distracted by smaller sound. And the reason is that it's acceptance and the expectations, right? That we have accepted the fact that we cannot control the sound which is coming from the road. And whereas we expect that people who are sitting around should not make any sound. So similarly, you have to accept the fact that this sound is unavoidable. When I'm doing certain work, the things will not go according to my will, right? And once we accept the fact, then those things will distract us less and less. And so the point is that, Mataji, we shouldn't have the expectations that all the times you will be free from the sounds or the disturbance. And that's why, it is said that the process is simple, but the application is difficult. And right? We have to keep trying. And one of the things Krishna wants to show in this pastime, that we have to endeavor. So Krishna is pleased with the endeavor, not the outcome of the endeavor. So you endeavor to chant in a quiet environment, in a peaceful environment, endeavor to remember him, and the leave rest on Krishna. And Krishna will be pleased with the endeavor, with serious endeavor. That's what I can say, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna. Dhanwad. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat pranam to you.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. Prabhuji, one doubt I have. When we do the work, we should do the work. When we are doing any work, we should have full concentration. We cannot think of Krishna. When I am doing my office work, I should be concentrated on office work only. If I am thinking of Krishna, I may make mistake here. So when I am doing, suppose I am doing anything, suppose you are preparing prasadam, your concentration should be at prasadam. What you have to put ingredient, how much flame should be there, all this. You cannot think of Krishna and do the prasadam. When Mataji is doing prasadam, she has to be very careful that fire flame is okay, salt is okay, and all these things they have to concentrate. So we cannot do the multitask when do you Krishna's any seva, either material or spiritual. So what do you say, Prabhuji, about this?
So, Prabhu, there are a few things in this. Starting from the last, multitasking. So, Prabhu, we are all multitaskers. We all do many things at one point of time. And I gave the example of a woman, who's working on the side. She's working on the side, carrying the load on the head, and climbing stairs up and down, right, without any elevator. And it's not an easy task. It's a very difficult task, right? And it's a risky also. But still, her mind is on the sun because she loves the sun. She has attachment to the sun. That's the one thing, Prabhu. And the second thing, Prabhu, when we are doing our activities, Krishna says, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, yoga karmasu akoshalam. We should perform our activities in a very expert manner. Right? But what should be our conscious? That I am performing these activities as a service to Krishna, for the pleasure of the Krishna. And once we have that consciousness, then that will purify our actions. And along with it, if wherever there is an opportunity, you're right, Prabhu, this cannot be done 100%, right? But the point our acharyas have made, that wherever possible, we should try to use our speech and the mind in Krishna's service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank
you. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dhanwad pranam. Happy Diwali for you. Nice class, sir. Very excellently explained. Both examples, I'm very happy. I noted some few points from this your lecture. And the last one, I was asking some doubt. That is, there are four stages of. I want to just add it. There are 4 stages of mind and consciousness. One is uncompetent and unconscious. That's the first level when you do sadhana. Second one is we become conscious but competent but unconscious. The last stage is we become competent and unconscious also, because we can do things when we are very competent. We can do things with unconscious stage also.
Yeah.
So an expert devotee can do unconsciously, very expertly also.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you for your comments.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. I think now it's already now about 9 o'clock, so we should give Viram. And I wish happy Diwali to everybody, and Krishna willing, we will have each other association some other time. Thank you so much, Prabhuji and Mataji. Hare Krishna. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha
Kripa sindurvaeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Shri Sham
Shine for Prabhu ki jai.
Hare Krishna. What was it?